The last time we talked about Amber Heard and the sex stuff, you talked about sex parties that you had been to as a part of your work in the sex industry, and really presenting it as it's not like the eyes wide shut, like scary, creepy sort of thing. It actually sounds very sort of commercialized in a way, right?
Yeah, I mean, it can be. The more expensive and affluent ones would be like that, but no, there's more of an industry. Yeah, there's different tiers of it, and any of the tiers that I've been involved in, because I won't, if you have a rate, you don't go below your rate because that's what your rate is. But
Mhm.
no, there's plenty of orgies and sex parties, but the type of
That are
stuff
more informal. Yeah.
informal, yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, they're like sex workers. Everybody has to be tested. Everybody that's attending it, if they want to be, depending on if it's an interactive sex party or if it's a viewing sex party, it's everybody needs to be tested. Everything has to be above board, condoms and lube everywhere, and yeah, rock and roll into the free world. God bless America.
So do you think, okay, so the latest that's come out on Houseinhabit's Instagram, and I'm sorry, her Substack, Jessica Krause, this stuff has been fed to her by a woman who goes by the name of Gia. I guess it's a pseudonym. And Gia has reported to her that that Amber Heard recruited her, became friends, and Amber Heard recruited her to go to some of these parties and whatever. She became friends with Elon Musk. There was like jealousy and stuff. And Amber Heard at one point took out a wine opener or something and started slashing
I
at
believe
this.
it was a wine opener. Yeah.
Okay, so you've heard this story. You know this story. I'm just curious. Do you believe these stories? Do you think that Jessica Krause is getting fed correct information from Gia?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. No, like personality. That psychiatrist at the court, man, called it. Like, Amber Heard is unstable. I was on set the other day, and it was a gangbang, and one of the male performers it wasn't about keeping his dick hard. He couldn't even get his dick hard. And instead of, like, I don't know, taking a Viagra or a Cialis or doing something, or being a professional, he started a fight with one of the other guys, and then starts going off on the AD, who was a woman. And by AD, I mean assistant director. And like, it was just an ugly scene. And in the end, they kicked him off the set, and he refused to leave the property. It was a huge 3-acre compound, and he refused to leave until he got his pay. And it was just like an awful, awful scene. But it's histrionic personality disorder. Like, these people are borderline. And so it's just another part of humanity. And what Amber Heard displayed there, I mean, like, it doesn't matter that there's loads of people around. It doesn't matter that it's a sex party. It doesn't matter that you're with Elon Musk or the girl is dating Elon Musk. The idea that she's displaying her ownership or her entitlement by acting out a vengeful act of violence on this woman is just, 100% on brand. I looked at the photos of the dress, the story of the bottle opener, and the things that she was saying to her. Yeah, it sounds like, that's on brand for that crazy.
I think that there's many people will agree with you in that estimation there. So last time we talked about this, and if people haven't seen the earlier videos, I think you'll find them really interesting. He goes into some detail about what some of these sex parties are like and so forth. So I'll put links below. But last time we talked, you said that you were not so sure, or you were kind of like meh on whether Amber Heard actually herself was a performer, that you found that to be less likely than the fact that she just showed up and like was there, like with Elon. You think that's, am I saying it right?
Oh, well, yeah, I would imagine that if she was at a sex party, there'd be jealousy would get into it. And I imagine that she'd be like, well, anyway, you want to cut it up. So you want to cut it up from the angle of, like, would she get involved? I wouldn't imagine she'd be a paid performer. All right. I wouldn't believe that by any stretch of the imagination. I would see her, and I wouldn't see her being paid as a madam to hook up older men with younger women. But I would see her being a woman, like lots of other women are in this town. There is an economy of, I know lots of pretty young girls that are impressionable. So it does behoove somebody in an older position like Amber Heard to surround herself with younger, prettier girls, because now that makes her look younger and prettier and more powerful. Certainly it adds to her value in a social situation, if she's the one that's bringing 4 or 5 or 6 other.
Well, I was gonna say, do you think that she could have recruited that? Like, for instance, Gia says that Amber basically, once she befriended her, she recruited her to participate in some of this. Does that seem more likely?
It would be her exploiting the younger girls for her benefit, in that, like, oh, hey, you could do this, and whatever she has to say to get them to do what she needs, that's what she's going to be saying. Money exchange, that's a little Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. I wouldn't imagine Amber Heard has that kind of stuff and going on, or work ethic. Because no, but at the end of the day, like I know a couple of them Adams, do you know what I mean? They're serious women, all right? And no fucking around.
And by madams, let's just clarify, by madams, he doesn't mean for anything underage. He means like, you know, just like Heidi Fleiss types. Or
I'm no Jeffrey Epstein. Okay.
I know.
It's a funny one. No, I'd believe Amber Heard was just exploiting girls for her own advantage with minimal profit, you know, always just trying to social climb that ladder and instill herself. But the whole idea of her trying to get Elon Musk to sleep with younger women so that she can have evidence, 100% I believe that. That's the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell thing, is like, oh, we introduced you to this beautiful girl. Oh, she sucked and fucked you. Oh, we recorded. Oh, wasn't that so much fun? By the way, we forgot to mention she was fucking 17. All right. So now you're in our pocket.
Yep.
That kind of thing. I believe that for sure. Because she's
not hard to believe.
Proven exploiter of things like that.
Well, and let me just let me ask you, or let me say, and then ask you something. There are some who think that it reflects badly on the Justice for Depp movement, or the Johnny Depp movement, for us to be talking about these supposed sex parties. And it's almost like, I think some people have the attitude that this stuff is just really far out there, that it is like a plot line from Eyes Wide Shut. But from talking to you, like in LA, there's a lot of people involved in the sex stuff in some form or fashion. And there's a lot of shitty people and there's a lot of crazy people, right? Like, is it that crazy to think that Amber Heard might've been involved in some of this, or Elon Musk might've been?
Look, I haven't watched TV shows since 2000, the recession in 2008. I stopped watching TV shows in 2009. And so when I have talked to people in the outside world about it, they're like, wow, you sound like this show and that show. And it's like, well, I don't know what those shows are, but this is just the reality as I have experienced. So I gotta, like, yeah, I mean, it's all one in five is doing cocaine. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of, it's a currency, you know, your sexual currency. All right. Now, yes, I am a pornographer. I am an international sex worker. But my position in that is like, yeah, I see it all going on around me. And I talked and interact with a lot of different female and male talents, producers and directors. And yeah, man, it's reality. It's all been going on since the dawn of time, you know, go back to the times of Romans. Before that, you know, it's people use things for leverage. And that's just as simple as it is. It's yes. I can think of fucking 3 regular sex parties. All right. 3 of them are on, one's on a Sunday, one's on a Tuesday, and then one's on a Friday that actively go on. And then there's ones that go on every second week. And then there's ones that go on every month. And membership to these things is not cheap. You know, like, it's not the kind of thing that anybody can just roll up to. There's like invite only things, and there's like different social media things that you have to be a part of. And to be a part of it, you have to be recommended by like 3 people. It's a whole process. But yeah, with that said, I don't see how it reflects poorly on the Depp community. The worst thing that reflects poorly on the Depp community is that he married Amber Heard. Okay. Outside of that, you can't hold Johnny Depp or anybody connected to him responsible for what her perversions are, you know, and what she's gotten into. Because,
well, I think it's more like, I'm sorry. I do agree with you. I think it's more like the idea that they think that that most people will just assume it's just sleazy rumors, and that basically what we're doing is we're just gossiping about like dirty stuff we can't prove, you know. And what I'm saying is, we know what this
Bill
woman
Clinton
is
was
like.
never on Jeffrey Epstein's airplane 28 times. Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on. There's the mainstream approach to things, or there's the more realistic and humane approach. Okay. And yeah, it's not something, you know, maybe you'd be talking to your kids about or whatnot, or like certainly not advertised to people. Okay. But if, hey, we're all adults and we're having adult conversations, these are the realities. Okay. This is Hollywood. Everybody wants to get somewhere to do something.
Right. You know? It's not a normal, that's the thing people need to understand. It's not a normal environment. And we, in
Hollywood.
In fact, Celtic tells me stories, some of which we've put on his channel. And if you're new to his channel, go way back and check out some of the videos that we did where he talks about the sex industry and stuff. And we're going to do more. But like it really is like a lot of